all students. So very happy to see a huge number of students. Okay, so we are as we have discussed yesterday. So we will be starting our bridge course class today. So starting with mathematics. Today I'm going to take mathematics. I'm myself Santosh Bhatt here. I'm graduate of NITK Surathkal. So when I was studying in my 11th and 12th standard, when I wrote this engineering exam, JEE exam, I got a rank of 150 all over India. Okay, and I was very much interested for mathematics from that time. Okay, so I got an opportunity to study under great teachers, those who trained me for IIT JEE. So they themselves were IITians and NITians. And presently, we are having an institution in Dharwad, Arjuna Education Institute, and we are having a free bridge course classes for the 10th passing and 10th appearing the exam or passing 10th examinations. Okay, so today we will start with mathematics, and we will be having the next immediate session that will be from 10:45. So 10:45 to 1 o'clock you'll be having chemistry class today. Okay, so now we will be having mathematics. So before I actually get into mathematics, okay, so what will be our flow? We will be discussing some important topics which are very much foundational, and just like you have trigonometry is there. Okay, so when you come to 11th, there is a trigonometry, there is mensuration. These all actually plays a very, very important role for your scoring in your 11th and 12th examination. Okay, such as this competitive examination, there are some more things like why we are having this classes. See, there is one thing is what actually happens when you are in your 10th standard. So there are so many topics which your teachers don't teach. Okay, so they feel that okay, once you go to 11th and 12th, that will be managed. But what happens when you are in 11th and 12th? When you come to 11th and 12th, so the teachers will feel that you already know that. Okay, the teachers will feel that you already know that, and they don't teach that again. Okay, for example, there is a logarithm. Okay, you might have heard logarithm, right? So this logarithm is a chapter which is like nobody teaches you that. So when you come to 11th, teachers feel that you should know it. But when you are in 10th standard, no teachers will teach you. So then what happens? Then teacher will start teaching from logarithm. Then when you come to physics, especially the physics will be filled with so many derivations, and it will be filled with so many calculations, derivations, that you will have to know what is different, what is that logarithm, how to calculate logarithm, anti-logarithm. All these things will be okay. So they don't teach you, but you need to know it. Okay, they don't teach you, but you need to know it. That is a problem actually. So that what is very important right now when you are in 10th, before you go to 11th, such topics, if you know it, okay, if you learn it, that becomes a stepping stone for you. Okay, so then there is differentiation, integration, such chapters also, which you will not know. Okay, so those will not be known. Calculations you will not be knowing. But once you go to physics in your 11th, they directly start with motion in one dimension, then you have to do integration, then you have to do differentiation. These are the things which you need to know. And again, when we are discussing in our bridge course, we will also be discussing about such topics, okay, and which will make you more confident. So when you go to 11th, so therefore this is called as a bridge course. What is a bridge course? Like, where do you use this bridge? Bridge is that when you go from one place to another place, right? Like you have two things and you have two steps, and in between there is a gap. So then you have to make a bridge. Okay, so like that, when you are in 10th standard, that is 10th and 11th, so there is a lot of gap. So therefore, you will have to have some connection between them. Okay, so I'm very happy to see many of the participants here. Okay, I'll just read out the names. There are so many participants. I don't know whether I'll be able to read out everybody's name. We have Abhishek, Aditi here. Then Akash Jadhav is there. Then Akshay, Anisha, Ankita, Balgangadhar. Okay, so Daivik Naik, Darshan, Dhruva, Dinesh. So Divya, there's so many. Divya, so many students are there. I'm very, very happy. Okay, Ishwari Punage is there. Then Kirti Ashok. Okay, so thank you very much for all your enthusiastic participation today. Okay, so fine. So what we will do, we will have some discussion. What we'll do, we'll have some discussion about this 11th to 12th and what some orientation type, what exactly is 11, what exactly is your 10, what is the difference between that. So we will have some discussion like that. Then we will start with mathematics today. Okay. So till your 10th standard, you will be having a very limited exposure when it comes to competitive examinations or other things. But when you're in 11th and 12th, it's like main thing for you is your competitive examination. You know? Why is it so? Because I'll just give you an example. So what generally students focuses on is getting a very good percentage in the board exam. Okay, so question is, this class is for 10th or 11th, sir? Yeah. So this class is for the students, those who are in completing 10th and going to 11th. Okay, so and what we are trying to do is we are creating an environment, or we are creating a understanding how exactly will be your 11th, so that you will be prepared for that. Okay, because many of the time students, they will be performing very nicely in their 10th exam. So as like 10th board, like when they are in 10th, but when they go to 11th, so they will miserably fail to score very nicely. Okay, so why? Because in 10th your subjects are also very, very limited. You have very, for example, you have mathematics, you have science. There is one science book, right? In that one science book, many of the students, they just score in their final exam only. They will score in their final exam only. They will not be studying whole year. So once they actually come to 11th, like it will be difficult, because in 10th they just remember things. Okay, they just by heart the things or what, something like that. So they by heart the things, and when it comes to 11th, you cannot by heart, right? So you have huge books. And when it comes to competitive examination, you just imagine, so JEE or NEET, they don't repeat any questions. In your board examination, what do you do? So you'll have a question bank, right? You will take the question bank, and in that question bank, there will be so many types of questions, previous year questions, important questions. You will study that, you will remember that. When you go to exam, you will just write it, you will get marks, right? So when it comes to competitive examination, it's not like that, because you will have to remember the concepts. You have to understand the concept. If you understand the concept, then whichever types of question comes, you will be able to do. For example, as I was telling, these competitive exams like JEE NEET, they don't repeat any questions. So they are conducting exams from last 20 years, 25 years, but they do not repeat any questions. They every time they create a new question. Okay, for that you need to understand concepts. There are two things. Okay, one is concepts, and in your chemistry you might have studied, right? When you are studying chemistry, there are certain things you have to remember, but certain exceptions will be there. All elements act like this, but one element acts opposite. Okay, so when it comes to competitive examinations, they focus more on this exceptions only. Okay, therefore, you need to remember the concept clearly. You have to understand the concept clearly. So when it comes to mathematics, so there are so many like trigonometry is there, right? So trigonometry, there are so many concepts in trigonometry, so which you need to know. The board exam, they have very limited exposure. Even in 11th and 12th, what is given the board examinations, will be very much limited. Okay, so but you need to explore more. You have to solve more questions, more enthusiastically you should learn. So then competitive examinations becomes easier. So why I was telling competitive examinations are more important, because even if you score uh, say 99.9 percentage in your board examinations, that is not going to make this like that's not going to give you the seat in any of the colleges. Okay, say a student, okay, so particular student got 99.9% in the examination. So what generally happens as soon as the results come, okay, so say you got 99%. So what will happen? So many people will come and wish you, uh, so many medias will come, right? So medias will come and they'll actually greet you. They will congratulate you. Okay, they will take your photo and they will make you stand with your mother, father, and mother, father will hold sweets in your mouth. So all these things will happen. You might have seen in the newspapers, right? So, but as soon as that's what as soon as happens after the results, right? After that 1 or 2 days, that newspaper also goes to side, and not many people remember that. Okay, and even in somebody scores 99% in board examination, in 12th examination, still the colleges, like whatever the good colleges, they are not going to select. They will not come run and come, sir, you got, sir or madam, you got very good percentage, so you join our college. They will not say that. Why? Because they do not see your writing skills. Okay? What they see, how much you can think, analytical skills they will see. So for that analytical skills, they will have this competitive examination. Okay. So therefore, it becomes very, very important. You have to get accustomed to competitive examinations. What is that competitive examination? You have to learn, you have to understand, you have to learn, you have to go through it. Okay, what way you have to prepare it. It's all like a homework for you. What is your dream? Okay, first you have to set your dream, right? So because we are starting a bridge course, so before starting a bridge course, we will have some plans, right? What we want to do, how we will do. Okay, like that. First you have to have dreams. First you have to have goals for your own self, right? Once you have goals for your own self, then it becomes like then you can work for that. Okay, so whatever score you do for your board examination, that's not going to matter a lot. What is important for you, remember now onwards, it's your competitive examination results. Okay, if you are going for engineering, you need to write JEE means advanced. Okay, if you want to go for medical, you need to write NEET examinations. These are examinations which are necessary. Suppose you want to become a scientist, there are very good examinations today, that is KVPY, Kishore Vijnan Protsahn Yojana. Then there is ISER exams are also there, Indian Institute of Scientific Education and Research. Then there is, if you want to go for astrology or if you want to go for space related things, then astronomy, sorry, not astrology, astronomy. So if you want to go, that is a there is a very good college, Indian Institute of Space Technology in Trivandrum, and anybody who clears that and those who are in that, those who complete their engineering in that course, they will get a very good seat, or they will get sure shot seat either in NASA or in India. ISRO is there, right? Such institutions. So that's how it is. Like that, there are so many very good colleges. To get into those colleges, you need to go through the competitive examinations, right? So this awareness we try to create for everyone, whomever we come across, because in Karnataka the situation is many of the time students are not aware of it. Okay, so they are not much aware of it, and it becomes very difficult for the students once they come to 12th, when they complete their 12th. Okay, so I myself, when I was in my 10th standard, I got a opportunity to learn in Dakshina Foundation. They trained us for IIT JEE, but when I got selected for that, I was not knowing the full form of IIT JEE. Okay, all over India they selected 40 students, and I was not knowing the full form of IIT JEE. One of my relative I asked, so he told it is All India examination, Indian Institute of Technology joint entrance examination. You can write it. If you get selection in that, it will be very good. So you'll get a very good future. So I just was knowing only the form, only the full form of it. I was not even knowing what it is. Okay, so once I got in, then I understood what competition is there, how much competition, all those things I came to know later. So very happy to say that among that 40 students, like our batch of 40 students. Okay, so in that batch of 40 students, almost 32 students got into IIT. So I was also got a seat in IIT Kharagpur, but because of the distance, I could not go. I was in I got a mechanical seat in IIT NIT Surat. Yes, there is a question here. Are you Navodaya? Yes, yes, I am Navodaya. I'm from Navodaya. Okay, and this Navodaya, all of you know, there is one Navodaya in each district, and they selected 40 students from Navodaya only, all over India. And I'm very happy to say that out of 40 students who got selected, who got an opportunity, three of us together, we are here in this institute. Okay, so myself, Santosh Bhatt, and my friend Dinesh Kandipalli, and another friend Uday Chaitanya. So three of us, we studied together when we were in 11th and 12th. Okay, and then we were working in different MNC companies. I was working in Bosch, and Dinesh sir was working in Reliance not insurance, Reliance Shipbuilding. Okay, he was marine engineer in IIT Kharagpur, and Uday Chaitanya, he was electrical engineering from IIT Kharagpur again. So he was working in Indian Oil Corporation (IOCL). So we had the same interest to train students for this competitive examinations, because we could see, especially the Karnataka, not many students get into IITs and IITs. They don't have idea also. Okay, so even though they have capacity, even though they have strength, even though they are capable, but problem is they don't get that kind of exposure. Okay, that kind of teaching. So that's the main difficulty students face. Okay, therefore, that's one of the reason we were interested for teaching. Okay, so anything which you are interested, okay, you will do. You will put your best. That's what the formula, right? So that's one thing. Secondly, in Karnataka, students are not much aware of these competitive examinations, and out of 10,000 seats in IITs, not even 500 students are selected. Okay, fine. Yeah, sure. So I didn't go to IIT. I went to NIT Surathkal. Fine. So we will. So it's already time is running. That's very true. Okay, fine. So now we will start with mathematics. Okay, and we will discuss some topics, and we will also, okay, one thing I just wanted to mention, that all of you please save the number through which you got like what message. In that time onwards we will be sending the materials and everything. Okay, so please save that, because we are going to broadcast messaging. If you have not saved that number, you will not receive that. Fine. So thank you very much for being connected. Fine. So now what we will do is we will discuss some topics. We'll start with today. We'll start with the number system. Number system, in that, number system, in that there is particular thing called as exponents, right? Exponents, then degrees. So how do you do that kind of questions? So what kind of things, knowledge you need to have now, so that when you come to 11th and 12th, it's easier for you. You have studied about surds, right? You have studied about surds. So we will discuss how to understand more things in that part. Fine. So I'll be sharing the screen here. Okay. Fine. So first thing, like we have indices, we say, right? So what is that indices? Indices and law of indices is powers. Okay. So what is indices? Indices is like if A is any non-zero real imaginary or real or imaginary number. Imaginary number concept we'll discuss later because it comes in 11th. Okay, so if any number is there, if you have power to that, positive integer is there as a power. Okay, so then that we call it as index or power. Okay, fine. So I will just share that. So I will not want to discuss all the definitions and all. I'll just share it so this will be easier for you. Okay. So what is indices means? Indices if A is any non-zero real or imaginary number. If M is a okay, fine. How many of you are having any trouble with respect to audio? Is it audible to you? In case you are having any difficulty, you can always send the message here. It becomes easier to track. Okay, my question to you is it audible?
Yes, sir. It's audible. Thanks.
It's audible. Okay. I got a message somebody's having trouble. Okay. If you are not facing any difficulty, it's fine. So we will go. Okay. If it is not audible, please send the message. Okay. So we will take that immediate action. Fine. Yes, sir. Audible. Okay. We will go ahead. Okay, so law of indices you know, but general order is there is little bit difficulty in this when it comes to questions. So there is possibility that you will go wrong. Fine. So therefore we are discussing this part. So indices and this law of indices and surds. Okay. So these are some important points here. A power 0 is equal to 1. Anything power 0 is equal to 1, right? Anything power 0 equal to 1. Fine. So you have studied the numbers. I'll just discuss this part because I just came across A power 0 equal to 1. I just remember it. So you have a number, right? So there's a rational number, irrational number. This is the number system. So there is something called as real number, right? In that real number, so you can make two categories. Okay, one is rational number, another is irrational number. Fine. One is rational number part, irrational number part. What is the definition of rational number? Rational number is you remember in your 10th you have studied, right? Rational number is which can be written in terms of P by Q, where P and Q are co-primes, right? What is the meaning of co-primes? Co-primes means they are relatively prime. Fine. So this P by Q form. So now, what is natural number? Natural number means we consider 0, 1, 2, 3. This we call it as natural number. And then there is whole number. Sorry, natural number means starting with 1 to infinity. Whole number means starting with 0 to infinity. So this whole number. How do you remember means whole number? So completely has all the numbers. Zeros also included in that. So whole number. Okay. So we say this is this rational number. Then there is that's imaginary number. There's another part. Okay. So one is real number, another is imaginary number. This part you study in your 11th. There is a chapter called as complex number. Imaginary number. What is imaginary number? In short, it is square root of a negative number. Okay, that we call it as imaginary number. Okay. So now, what is actually suppose you have a 1 by 0.1. So it's going to be a rational number. Okay. So this is going to be 100. It's going to be 10, right? But if you have 1 by 0, what is the value of 1 by 0? So anybody can tell me what is the value of 1 by 0?
Is it infinity? 1 by 0 is infinity?
Yes, 1 by 0 is infinity. What exactly is that infinity?
Not defined.
Okay. Infinity. Yeah, it's infinity. I just try to learn what exactly is that infinity. You may say it's a very big number, but how can you say what is that big number?
Never ending.
Undefined.
Undefined. Okay, it's not defined. Okay. Okay, I will explain in terms of mathematics. Okay, I will explain in terms of mathematics. So if you have a
If a
1
number
by
equal
0
to
is a number
infinity,
k.
answer is infinity.
Yeah, it's infinity. I'm just trying to explain what is exactly that infinity. Why do you say that not defined? You say infinity also. You say not defined also. Okay, so what is that? See, 1 by 0 equal to k. Suppose k is a number. And if you take this 0 right side, so you'll get 0 into k. Right? 0 into k. Okay, 1 equal to 0 into k. So please switch off mic from your side. Okay, so 1 equal to 0 into k. Now, what is that number? If you multiply 0 to that, you will get 1. What is that number? If you multiply 0 to that, you will get 1. Number which is possible if you multiply 0, and because anything you multiply with 0, it becomes 0. But here you are getting a number k. If you multiply with 0, it is equal to 1. So therefore, we say that k is not defined. Okay, k is not defined. Okay, this is the way definition of not defined comes for infinity. Okay, then when we say 1 by 0, this is also equal to infinity, right? We write like this, infinity. Okay, one thing. Then what is infinity plus infinity equal to?
2 into infinity.
Infinity.
Plus infinity equal to infinity.
Infinity.
Okay. Yeah.
2 into infinity.
Infinity plus infinity equal to infinity. So then what I can do is I can write as 2 times infinity here equal to infinity, and I'll cancel infinity. I'll get 2 equal to 1. So what is the problem in this? So what is the problem in this? Fine. So I'll just explain it why this is wrong. See, infinity is a big number. Please switch off the mics from your side. Please switch off the mics from your side. Okay. So please keep the mics off so that it will not be disturbing to the class. Okay. So 2 into 1. So what is the problem here? Infinity is a big number. So you cannot apply, you cannot make algebra with infinity. Okay. So infinity is only a symbol. Infinity is only a symbol. See, you have 1 by 0.1. This is equal to what? 10, right? So 1 by 0.01. This is equal to what? 100. So 1 by 0.001. This is equal to what? 1000. Right? So what is happening in the denominator? You are trying to put a value which is going closer and closer and closer to infinity, closer to 0, right? So if you substitute 0.000001, so how many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you should get 7 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what you are trying to do is, in the number line, here you have 0, here you have 1. You are going closer to 0. Is 0.1, then again closer to 0, 0.01, 0.001, 0.001. So when you are going closer to that, you are getting such a big value. What will happen if you substitute directly 0? So you get so many zeros you cannot count only. You go on writing the 0 up to, go on writing till the moon, so it's not going to end. Okay, so it's not going to. And okay, so you can compare with that. So if you suppose you take out 1 bucket of water from the ocean, will it make any difference? No. If you take out 10 buckets of water, will it make any difference? No. If you take 1000 buckets of water, will it make any difference? No. So therefore we write infinity minus 1 is also infinity. infinity minus 100 is also infinity, right? So we write like this. Okay. So we discussed about what? 1 by 0. We discussed about 1 by 0. So what is 0 by 0 equal to? Next question. What is 0 by 0 equal to? Who will tell me? You can just, you need not speak, you can just
0.
tell the answer in the chat. Okay. 0 by 0 equal to 0. Okay. Many answer I'm getting as 0. Okay, fine. 0 not defined. Okay. There is one answer not defined. Okay, fine.
Infinity.
Okay. Undefined. Okay. What is that? 0 by 0. Let us see.
1.
Please keep your side muted. Please keep your side muted so that it will not be disturbance to the class. Okay. Okay. So here you have 0 by 0. What is 0 by 0? So this we call it as not defined. This we call it as not defined. 0 by 0 we call it as indeterminate.
ನಾನು ಹೆಸರು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ನಾನು ಆನ್ಸರ್ 0 ಅದ್ ಕಶಿನೇ ದೀಪಾ ಅರ್ಲಿಕಟ್ಟಿ ಸೆಂಟರ್ 0 ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅದು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅದಂಗ
Deepa Arlikatti, please keep your mics off. Okay. My request is please keep your mics off so that it will not be disturbed in class. Okay. So 0 by 0 we call it as indeterminate. What is indeterminate? Okay. Say I take a number k. So 0 by 0 is equal to k. Okay. So then what will be 0 equal to? K into 0. Take it right side. Fine. Is equal to k into 0. Now, what is that number k? If you multiply 0, so you'll get 0. Okay, the k can be equal to 1. Fine. The k can be equal to 2. The k can be equal to 3. The k can be equal to 5. The k can be equal to 10. The k can be equal to minus 7. Can be 1000. So whatever it is the number. So that k value can be any number, any real number. So k can be any real number. So therefore, you cannot say k equal to 1 only is the answer. You cannot say k equal to 100 is only the answer. So therefore, we write it's indeterminate. It cannot be determined. There is surely the value, but it cannot be determined. Okay. So that this is the this is what exactly infinity is not defined and indeterminate. So 0 by 0 is not equal to 1 or 0 by 0 is not equal to 0. Okay. This is wrong understanding. 0 by 0 is not equal to 0. Okay. Neither 0 by 0 is equal to infinity. This is also not correct. Nor, sir, I will do one thing, sir. Just like I have 2 by 2, right? So what do we do when 2 by 2 is there? So 2 by 2 is there. I will write 2 by 2 is equal to 2 to cancel equal to 1. Similarly, sir, what I will do is cancel 0 0. I will write 1. So is it correct? No, it is not correct. Why? 0 0 you cannot cancel. So the definition is what? Here, when you are writing here the number, right? The real number part. So you have P and Q are co-primes and Q not equal to 0. Okay, so this you used to write every time. Do you remember? P and Q are co-primes, but Q not equal to 0. What is the reason for that? This is the reason. If Q equal to 0, what will happen? It will become indeterminate. Not indeterminate, undefined. Infinity we call it undefined. Okay, so there is no particular value for that. So this is the basics of the numbers. So when the numbers have the degrees, we call it as powers or indices. So a power 0 equal to 1, this you know. And this is very important property, you have a power minus n. So when you have any negative degree, so what will happen? You have to take the reciprocal of that. Okay, that same degree comes down. And this third important property, which you know, a power m plus n equal to a power m into a power n. Fine. And similarly, if addition is there in the degree, it will get multiplied. If subtraction is there, it will get divided. And here you have a power m whole power n. When a whole power n comes, what exactly it is? It's like a power m into a power m into a power m. How many times? N times. So or it is a power mm. So you can multiply. So if it is degree, you can multiply. Okay. So anytime you have, so here there's very important property number 7. Okay. So property number 7. If x equal to y, if x is y, if x equal to y, then a power x equal to a power y. But the converse may not be true. Okay. What is the meaning of it? If you have 3 power x equal to 3 power y, what is the converse may not be true? That means a power x equal to a power y, then x is not equal to y. Understanding this point? See here, 1 power 6, one simple example is given. 1 power 6 equal to 1 power 8. So both of them are equal, but 6 is not equal to 8, right? So therefore, what is that number? Base plays a very important role. Okay. That plays a very important role. Like, I'm just writing here. So whenever you have a number, okay, whenever you have a number, this number can be expressed in 2 ways. Okay? Whenever you have a number, can be expressed in 2 ways. First, I'm introducing this word. Okay, first we call it as exponential way. Okay, it is exponential way, and second way we call it as logarithmic way. Okay, so what is the meaning of exponential way? You have a degree in that. Okay, for example, 3 square equal to 9. Okay, so any number can be expressed like this. Means 0.5, right?
Your voice is good.
4 power 0.5. 4 power 0.5 is 4 power half. So 4 power half is 2. Correct. So 4 power half is 2. So 4, this is 2. So any number can be expressed in this way.
It is not audible clearly.
Is it not audible? Okay.
Sir, it is lagging.
Okay,
That is
fine.
good.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Yes. Yeah, it will revert back. Just
That is better use.
Yes, there is a lag. Okay, fine. So, is it clear now? Yeah, now it's getting clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. So this way we call it as exponential way. Okay, and it's like a power x equal to n, where this number, okay, this is, we call it as number, okay, and a we call it as base, and x, okay, we call it as exponent or indices, whatever it is, exponent. All right. So therefore we call it as exponential form of a number. The same thing we can write in terms of logarithmic way. Okay, this logarithm we will discuss in detail later. I'm just introducing this word so that we'll become familiar. So you have 3 square equal to 9. Same thing I'll write as log of 9 base 3 is equal to 2. Log of 9 base 3 equal to 2. Fine. So here again, if you write in terms of this, you have a power x equal to n. So this is exponential way of writing a number. And you have log of the number base a equal to x. We call it as logarithmic way of writing the number. Okay. A power x equal to n, we call it as exponential way. Log n base a equal to x, we call it as logarithmic way. Okay. So here again, when you have log of n base a, so this is a number. Okay. and this is base equal to x is exponent. Clear? So this x is exponent, that means output of a number, output of a logarithmic number is always a exponent. Clear? So this exponential way, logarithmic way we'll discuss later, because we are going to deal with logarithmic part again. Now what we will do is, based on this exponent way, if 2 power x equal to 4 y equal to 8 power z,
Sir, it is lagging.
and xyz equal to 288, they're asking to find the value of. I have pasted a question here. You can try this question.
Sir, again it's lagging.
Yes. I have pasted a question. You can solve that. Two power x equal to 4 power y equal to 8 power z.
Sir, answer is D.
Answer is D. So you have 2 power x equal to 4 power y equal to 8 power z, right? So what you can do whenever you have three things equated, there is one simple way. Okay. There is one simple way. We write like this: power x equal to 4 power y equal to 8 power z equal to some value k. Equal to some value k. Fine. Then what you get now is some are getting answer ready. So what exactly you need to do is write in terms of degree. See what we discussed, that if you are having two things equated, okay, both has power. So what you should do is write 2 power x equal to 2 power 2. That becomes 2 power 2y, because they will get multiplied there, right? 2 square power y, and it is 2 cube power z. That is going to be 2 power 3z. So this is equal to k. Right? This is equal to k. So now you multiply them, and they have given the value of x, y, z, right? So they have given the value of x, y, z. You just multiply them, okay? So what exactly you will get here now, if you are taking that, instead of taking it as k, what I will do is I will write it as 2 power k, so that it becomes easier for me to find out x, y, z. So I'll write 2 power k. So I will just write x equal to 2y equal to 3z equal to k. Okay, and they have given that x into y into z is equal to 288, right? So what is x equal to? X equal to k, y equal to I'll write y equal to 2y equal to k, right? So y equal to what? K by 2, right? Into you have z, z equal to 3z equal to k, so z equal to k by 3, right? So this is equal to k cube by 6 equal to 288. So what do you get the value of k? If k, you will get k cube equal to 288 into 6, right? So you multiply it or you write separately, so you'll get, okay, so it is 448, 52, 17. So it's going to be cube of 12, k equal to 12. As soon as you get k equal to 12, what they're asking now is 1 by 2x plus 1 by 4y plus 1 by 8z. So this value they're
Sir,
asking.
we can't hear.
Right? Okay. So now you substitute the value of k. So now you substitute the value of k. So it's 1 by x equal to k, 2k, plus 1 by 4y. So what is y equal to? Y equal to k by 2. Okay. Plus 1 by z, 8z. 8z is z equal to k by 3. Substitute this and you simplify this, you'll get answer. Okay. It's going to be 1 by 2k plus 1 by 2k again because 2 gets cancelled here. Okay. Plus 3 by 8k. Fine. So now you simplify that. So I think you'll get 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 3, 11. So 11 by 8k, right? This is what they're asking. And the value of k equal to 12. So value of k equal to 12. So it's 8 into 12. So 8 into 12, you know it as 96. So answer is 11 by 96. It's going to be 11 by 96. Any doubt in this question? Okay, we'll solve another question here. So it's a very simple question. Okay, everybody can answer this. Very, very simple one. X by x plus 2 equal to 3 by 2 power 2 minus 2x. You tell me the value of x. It's very, very simple. Once you get the answer, you can just send it. Okay, I have given a second question. So those who are, I have given a second question. Those who are
Sir, it's lagging.
I'm not speaking anything. Hope this is clear now. There is one student has asked me to explain this part. I'll just explain it shortly. So by the time others can do second question. Okay. So here, whenever three things are equated, the best way is always equated to something. Okay. Here, everything in terms of 2 power 2 power, I equate it to 2 power k. Okay. So now I'll compare these values. So degrees. That is, here x is there. Right. Here x is there. Here 2y is there. right? Here 3z is there. So if that all three must be equal, so then we got everything x, y, z in terms of k. So x equal to k, 2y equal to k, 3z equal to k. And they have given another information, x into y into z equal to 288. They have given in the question. So in the place of x, you substitute k. In the place of y, you substitute k by 2. In the place of z, you substitute k by 3. And simplify, you'll get k equal to 12. Once you get k equal to 12, again, they have asked this question. They're asking what is the value of this. Right? So here you substitute the value of x, y, and z. And you know the value of k. So from that, you will get the answer 11 by 96. Okay. So this question now. Okay, this question now. So 2 by 3 power x plus 2 equal to 3 by 2 power 2 minus 2x. You have to just understand, is it the same number? Two by 3 power x plus 2 equal to 3 by 2 power 2 minus 2x. So it is 2 by 3. It is 2 by 3 power x plus 2. 3 by 2 power 2 minus 2x. So one thing you understand, we have studied a power m minus m equal to 1 by a power m, right? Okay, so that means this is also equal to 1 by a whole power m. Correct? One by a whole power m, right? So that means if there is a power, if I take the reciprocal of it, so here there is 2 by 3 power x plus 2, and here I am writing 3 by 2 in terms of 2 by 3. So then negative will come here. Please keep yourself mute. Okay, so this is like x plus 2 now should be equal to negative of 2 minus 2x, and negative get multiplied to both, you will get minus 2 plus 2x. This should be equal to x plus 2. And if you bring this x here, this will get cancelled. 2x minus x is x, and minus 2 you bring to left hand side, becomes 2 plus 2, that is 4. So answer x equal to 4, answer equal to C. Okay, so now based on this concept, so tomorrow we'll continue with logarithm part. Okay, based on this concept, I'm going to give 2 questions to you. Okay, only 2 questions. It's very, I'm not going to give 10 questions, I'm going to give only 2 questions. You need to solve that and come. Okay, so first one is the first question is, they have given you 1 by a power 1 by x equal to b power 1 by y equal to c power 1 by z, and b square equal to ac. They're asking to find the value of x plus z. Okay, this is the first question. And the second question I will be giving today, it is in terms of degrees. You need to very carefully do this. You have to find the value of x. Okay, you have to find the value of x. The question number 2 is this: x power x into cube root of x equal to x into cube root of x into power x, like this. This is question number 1. This is question number 2. Okay, and lastly, I will give, this is just based on the similar type of question we have done today. Okay, anyway, I will One more last question. Okay, one more last question. You need to find the value of m. The last question. Fine. So I have given you 3 questions for today. So please do that, and tomorrow we will continue our discussion. Please write down this question, or you can take snapshot also. You have to find first question is a power x 1 by x equal to b power 1 by equal to c power 1 by the same method you follow. So equate it to some value k. Then you solve that. Find x and y and z separately. Second question is just like your I will get to know your understanding of the degree. How do you deal with the degrees? And the third question is again, how do you deal with the degrees? Let us see. So thank you very much for joining with us today. So tomorrow we will continue with discussion on surds. Okay. So surds, how do you find out which surds are equal, or taking square root of surds? There are some concepts are there. So you have not studied that in your time. Okay. So those things we will study tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much. Anybody has any questions? In case you have any questions, you can send it in the chat. Okay, so now from 11:30 we will be having chemistry class. From 11:30 we will be having chemistry class. So this class will be taken by Dinesh sir. Okay, so 11:32. Okay, regarding you have not 11:30. I think schedule is 11:45. Okay, so from 11:45 to 1 o'clock there is this class. Okay, Sujal Patil. Regarding log, you have any doubt in that, Sujal?
Yes, sir.
Fine. I'm going to deal with logarithm separately. There is a separate discussion. I will be doing logarithm. I will just do shortly. I will tell you because you asked. I will explain it shortly. I was telling you there are 2 ways you can do, right? 2 ways you can express a number. So first is exponential way. You have 3 square equal to x, 3 square equal to 9 you write, right? This is exponential way of expressing. And the same thing if you write in terms of log, that is log 9 base 3 equal to 2. Okay. So first you try to understand if this is given, you should be able to write this. So you have 2 cube equal to 8, right? So how do you write this in terms of log? So it is always, you have a power x equal to n, a power x equal to n. So how do you write in terms of log way? It is log n base a equal to exponent x. Okay. So you may have a question, sir, why this logarithm is used? So now presently there is a pandemic which is going on, which is COVID, right? So do you have an idea how exactly they analyze whether COVID is increasing or decreasing? Because it is actually increasing in an exponential way. It is increasing in an exponential way. Exponential way, if the things are exponential way, then only way you can understand the nature of that is through logarithm. Okay, like you have studied in your 10th standard about nuclear fusion, right? So nuclear fission, so there is one nucleus and one neutron comes and bombards. So what will happen? This will get divided and 3 more neutrons will come out. And this neutron will hit another and 3 more neutrons will come out. And again, this will go on like this. So if you see the number of neutrons, it is going to be a huge in a very short span of time, because every one neutron is going to produce 3 more neutrons, and again every one of them will produce 3 more, again every one of them will produce 3 more. So this is exponential growth, we say. So similarly, population growth is also exponential, we say, right? So this is exponential. We use this word exponential, but you need to know what is that exponential, because when you come to 11th and 12th, so generally, in many of the colleges, they don't teach this part separately. They simply say you should know it. Exponential means you should know, logarithmic you should know. Okay, so here, as I told you, exponential. So COVID-19 is also growth is exponential. So therefore, they deal in terms of logarithm. So logarithm means what? They will have a graph. You know how the graph will be in terms of logarithm. So there is a logarithmic graph. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
Sir, can 0 be expressed in terms of log?
Yes, 0 can be expressed in terms of log. I will explain that. Okay. So this is, I'm just explaining how exactly log graph is. Okay. So here 0 to 10, next 11, 12 will not be there. It will start with 20, 30, 40, like this. It will go up to 100. Next it will be 200, 300. It will be like this. So here 1 to 10, next degree, 10 to 100, next degree, 100 to 1000, next 1000 to. So there you will, the exponential graph in general. Okay, if exponential graph will be like this, it will grow like this. So it will look like a straight line graph in logarithm. So for controlling the pandemic, or to study about the pandemic, not to control, that's not so easy. So to study about the pandemic COVID growth, they use logarithm parts. Okay, logarithmic things they use. So now the question is, how do we express the numbers? I'll just give one or two examples here. We'll give one or two examples of logarithm. How do we use it? Say you have log. So suppose somebody asks you what is the value of log 81 base 3. They'll ask you the question. So you have studied two things. One is exponential, another is logarithm. You can revert back. How do you revert back? So you know that log n base a equal to x. It is simply, it's going to be a power x equal to n, right? So if I consider this value as x, so answer is suppose x. So that means 3 power x should be equal to 81, because this number should be right side in terms of exponential, and 3 power. So this answer is the exponent. So what is the base? Here this is the base. Here this is also base, right? So 3 power x. Okay, so it's 81. So what is x equal to? X equal to 4. So you can always revert back. Okay. So somebody asks you what is 1 power 0 equal to? Okay, not 1 power 0. 5 power 0 equal to what? 5 power 0 equal to 1. And if I convert it to log, how does it look? It is log of, okay, log of exponent is 0 and 1 base 5. Log of 1 base 5. What is this equal to? 0. Okay. So log of 1 is always equal to 0. Log of 1, base can be anything. Base can be 5, base can be 10. Suppose somebody asks you what is log of 1 base 100. So consider this is equal to x. Okay. So then what you need to do? Convert it to exponential. How do you convert it to exponential? So this is the answer. It should come to numerator, like the suffix or above. And the base is what? 100. So 100 power exponent x should be equal to answer 1. 100 power x should be equal to answer 1. So what is that? X equal to, x should be equal to 0. Here, x should be equal to 0. So this is like answer of a log is 0. Okay, can I get the answer of log in terms of a negative number? Yes, why not? We have log of 1 by 2 base 2. Okay, log of 1 by 2 base 2. So how do you write this? I will consider this equal to x here. Okay. Then I will convert in terms of exponential. How do I convert to exponential? 2 power, that is base power, value x should be equal to what? N value. What is n value equal to? 1 by 2. So are you able to understand this part? So logarithm you can always convert to exponential. Exponential, you know, you have studied it. By default, you know this. 2 power x equal to half. What is that value of x equal to? That x should be equal to minus 1, right? So why minus 1? What is okay, I'll write like this. What is 1 by 2 equal to? Can I write it as 2 power minus 1? So 2 power minus 1 equal to 2 power x. So what is x equal to? X equal to minus 1. X equal to minus 1. Fine. So suppose the question is in terms of log 1 by 81 base 3 equal to what? Fine. So this, so what is this? What will be this equal to? So I'll consider it's equal to x
Minus 4.
Minus 4.
minus 4. Yes, very good. Minus 4. So 81 is 3 power minus 4. So therefore x equal to minus 4. Clear? So you have a condition. Okay. So there is another condition which I'll just mention here because we are discussing a log. So anyway, we are going to discuss this logarithm in future in detail. So log n base a equal to x, right? So condition is this n value always should be a positive number. Greater than 0 means it should be positive number. That means you have a condition for log. Okay. So just like there is a condition, nobody should enter this region. Okay. So suppose Karnataka government take a condition, this state fellows should not come inside. So like that. So n has a condition. What is that condition? N should be always positive. Okay. And n cannot be 0 also. So this is amazing thing here. Okay. Try to understand. N cannot be 0. Why n cannot be 0? That means what is log 0 base 3 or base 2, suppose whatever number 2 I write. What is this equal to? Log 0 base 2. So I will consider this equal to x. Again, same method. Convert this to log. Log to exponential. How do I convert it to exponential here? This is x power, not x power, 2 power. So 2 power x should be equal to 0. Okay, so 2 power x equal to 0 you are getting. Is there any value of x for which 2 power x equal to 0?
No.
No value? Sure?
No,
Okay,
sir.
what is 2
No,
power
sir.
minus 1? 2 power, if you
Not
consider
defined,
a
sir.
negative number. If you consider a negative number, you will get a value which is, say, x equal to minus 10. It's going to be 2 power minus 10. That is 1 by 2 power 10. So that will be closer to 0, but it will never be equal to 0. Therefore, you should remember this. I always tell in shortly the conclusion of exponential function. Okay, this is 3 power x, 2 power x, all are exponential functions. So in full family of exponential function, in full khandan of exponential function, nobody is negative, nobody is 0. They're always positive. Okay, in full khandan of exponential function, nobody is negative, nobody is 0. They will never be equal to 0. So therefore, there is no value of x. Therefore, this is not possible. This is not defined. Okay, this is not defined. Fine. And the last question I will ask you, because all of you are very enthusiastic to learn about log. So my question to you is log. Okay, log 5 base 1 equal to what? Log 5 base 1 equal to what? Consider equal to x and convert it to exponential. It's very easy, right? Log 5 base 1 equal to what? Okay, previous question, Deepa, you asked the question how to find x. So that is x for this exponential part only, right? The last question is it for last question?
0.
0. Okay. I'm getting answer 1 also. I'm getting answer 0 also. So you need to be a little bit careful here. What is log 5 base 1? Consider this equal to what? Equal to x here, right? So consider equal to x. You need to find x. How do you find x? Again, so this is logarithmic way. Logarithm to, you have to convert to exponential. How do you convert to exponential? That is e power, not e, sorry.
1
here
power
base
x
is 1,
equal to
right?
5.
So 1 power x equal to 5, correct? Is it the same thing you want? 1 power x equal to 5. So what is that x value for which you will get answer equal to 5? So you just, whenever you get confusion, you can substitute the values and say, check. Say suppose x equal to 0, you will get 1 power 0. What is 1 power 0 equal to? 1. What is 1 power 1 equal to? 1. What is 1 power 5 equal to? 1. So whatever value of x you substitute, x equal to 1, x equal to 100, whatever you substitute, no? So you will get 1 power, anything is 1 only. So 1 cannot be equal to 5, right? This is wrong. Therefore again, this is not defined. So two things it is not defined. Okay. So that means there is a condition for logarithm. So just write the conclusion. Okay, so one conclusion we got, that is exponential cannot be negative, exponential is not 0. Second conclusion, in terms of log n base a equal to x, there is a two condition. First condition is n should be always positive. A should be, what about a? A should not be 1 because base, right? Here base base, no? So base should not be 1. Just like there is n condition, A also there is a condition. A should be positive, N should be positive. And here one more condition we got, that is A. If A is equal to 1, no, it is not defined. A equal to 1, it is not defined. So therefore, A should not be equal to 1. So these are the conclusion for logarithm. And we'll discuss in detail about logarithm again in future. Okay. So log n base A equal to x. So n should be positive. A also should be positive. Nobody should be negative or 0. If it is 0, it is not defined. And A value should not be equal to 1. Here. Fine. X is not equal to 5, Shraddha. Okay. X is not equal to 5, not to 0 and 1 also. As we discussed. You understood, right? Okay. You understood, right? So what we discussed? So now, so this is for today, and we will continue tomorrow again. So in indicers and surds, there are so many concepts which we need to discuss. Like two surds are given. How do you compare which one is bigger, which one is smaller? So those concepts are there. And then there is two. I'll give one simple example. Okay. So say you have root 3 minus root 2, root 4 minus root 3, root 5 minus root 5 minus root 4. So like this you have numbers, right? You need to compare what will happen. Say root 5 minus root 26 minus root 27 is bigger, root 27 minus root 28 is bigger. So there are a lot of comparison things comes. So we will discuss that tomorrow. Okay. So it will be very much interesting part, and many more things are there to learn in future. So thank you very much. So this is for today. The time is 11:30 sharp, and 11:45 chemistry class will be there. Thank you.